Welcome all, welcome to this lab of Object-Oriented Programming 1. Today we'll continue with GTU programs and we'll try to complete the practical number 17 today. So let me show the disclaimer, then we'll start the session. Okay, so let's go to the practical program. So this is practical number 17, where basically we have to create a tic-tac-toe board game, and a cell may have X or O or it may be empty, right? And what to display at each cell is randomly decided, but the input is taken from the user, right? So check this out. What do we do over here? Here we start with player name array. We take two player names in this string array. Okay. Then we define a game array. So this is 3 by 3 matrix which has the game scenario. Okay. So whatever be the scenario at the current time in the during the play is going on, this game character array will consist of the scenario of what moves have been made by which player. Okay. Then sign represents the current sign that you want to put, that is either X or O. Then you have current player equal to 0. Then we have row number, column number of times. See, this is a 3 by 3 matrix, so there will be about 9 locations only, right? If you see a 3 by 3 matrix, then there will be about 9 locations only. Right. So for this 9 locations, we say that when this times become 9, it means 9 characters have been put into the into the game board. So it means the game is over, right? Now there is no scope of putting more characters. And currently wins is equal to -1. Then it may represent the number that the user has won. Okay, and that number will basically, this number will basically represent the index of the string array, so that it can point to that particular or some name. Okay. Now, once we have declared all these variables, right, we also have this input scanner object so that we can take input from the user. We display welcome to tic-tac-toe game. Okay. We ask for the user enter player 1 to enter the name, right? And we say that your sign is O. Then we say please enter player 2 name. We read that particular name, and then we say for player 2 the sign is this. Okay. Then we say that currently the canvas of the game is empty. Let us start the game. And now in this while loop, the whole code is there. See, while loop is running infinitely. So what would happen is that this while loop will be basically exited by this if code. You can see if wins is not equal to -1 or times is equal to 9, then it means that we need to break. So wins is not equal to -1 means any number represents that a particular person has won. And if the number is times is equal to number 9, it means all the nine uh, all the nine locations have been filled. If times is equal to 9 and wins is equal to minus 1, it means no one has won. Okay, it's as simple as that. So check this out over here. Here we say while true, and if current player equal to 1, so currently it is what? Currently the current player value is 0 only, right? So if we say current player equal to 1, then sign equal to x, else sign equal to O, right? So currently it is 0, so the sign is equal to O. You can see that the first 0th player, player 0 has sign O associated with it, and player number 1 has sign X associated with it. Okay. So here we say if current player equal to 1, sign equal to X, else sign equal to O, and then we say player name current player, right? The name, this particular player name with this particular sign has to enter the position. Okay, I'll say shall enter a position. So this particular player name with this particular sign will enter a particular position by putting in the row number. Okay. Now see what happens when we read the row number. When we say enter row number, okay. So here we read the value and we decrement it by 1 because the index starts from 0, right? So that's why we decrement the row number by 1. Similarly, we ask for column number, right? We ask for the column number and we take the value and decrement it by 1 and then only assign it to column. So if the user enters number 3, so that would be equivalent to number 2 because the index starts from 0, 1 and 2, right? Now see, now it checks if row is greater than 0 or row is less than 0 or column is greater than equal to 0 or column is less than 0. If this is the case, right, then we need to say that please enter valid position. Or when we put this row and column, the value is null character, then we say please enter valid position. Okay. Else we say continue. Okay. No, basically, so sorry, not else, but if this is the case, then we continue. Means, why do we continue? We say that the user might have entered a wrong row number or column number. So let's give another chance to enter another row number and column number. Okay. Now this if test for that, it if tests the user input given by user for row number and column number. Once that is done, so it means if the control comes over here, then it means that the user input is correct. It is between 0 and 0, 1 or 2, right? So we increment times. It means right currently the times becomes 1, right? Then we say wins equal to set game, where we pass the game 3 by 3 matrix, the row number, the column number, the current player number, and sign. Okay, all these things are being passed to set game, and it returns the number of the winner. Okay, so let's go to the set game. Now see what is there in set game. Set game basically takes this 3 by 3 matrix, row number, column number, current player number, and character sign. And then what does it do? It directly puts that particular sign on that row and column number. It does not, currently we don't have the logic to check whether that particular row and column number has been assigned or not. Okay, so we directly assign it right now. Okay, that logic can be added somewhere before. Okay, and so once that sign has been put into that game array, it the means the basically this user's move has been done. User move has been done. Okay, and once the user enters this sign, okay, it will be, it will be checked for the column values, then for whole, here it will be checked for whole row value, then here it will be checked for whole column values, here it will be checked for row equal to column. Okay, so let me show you the output, then you'll easily be able to understand what happens. Let me first show you the output. Okay, let me show that. You saw that? Yes, guys. Just a minute. So see, okay. So now you saw how this game runs, right? So let me show you how basically the logic has been defined. So when we call this set game, right, we can put the logic over here at at this location. We can put the logic to test or to check whether the entered row and column, so entered row and column, or we can say entered cell position is empty or not. Okay. We need to check this, and this logic shall be added over here. So we assume right now that it is what? It is basically empty. Okay. So when this set game method is called, see, check this out. What does it do? This is, suppose this is the matrix. Okay. So this matrix basically, the location is something like this. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. And similarly over here it is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Right. So now see, what does it do? What does it check? Let's suppose that user enters this location. So user enters what? 1 comma 1. So by subtracting 1 from both, it is 0 comma 0. Right. So currently this location has been entered by the user. Right. So let's assume that this row is 0 and column is 0. Okay. Now see, first we do what? We say row column equal to sign. So first we assign the value over here. Okay. First we directly assign the value. Then what do we do? We basically run the if statements. Okay. Where we say if game row of 0 is equal to game row of 1. Right. So we check what is the row number? Zeroth number. Right. So if the zeroth location, zeroth column is equal to 1th column or what? If that is the case and the first column is equivalent to second column, that is this column is also equivalent to this column, then it means that all the three columns are same. So it means that currently the user is winner. Okay. Need to take the whole column. So we say game of 0 column is equal to game of 1 column. So we check this one and this one. Okay. Then we check game of 1 column equal to game of 2 columns. So we check this one and this one. So in the end, what do we do? We check this whole column, whether that is all these three are equal. If these three are equal, then the user is winner. So we simply return the current player number both the times. Okay. Simply return the current player number. If that is not the case, then we check if row number is equivalent to column number. So here, yes, you can see that the row number is equivalent to column number 00, right? So it checks whether this 00 is equivalent to 11, location 00 is equivalent to location 11, and then location 11 is equivalent to location 22. So what does it do? Oh, sorry. This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Similarly, this is 0, this is 1, this is 2. Now see, first it has put O over here. Okay. Now what will it will check? First it checks the whole row, then it checks the whole column, then it checks whether the both those index are same. Yes, currently the index are same, row and column number are same. So it checks this part. It checks this part. Okay. And once that is done, then it checks if that is also not if that is see if that is the case, then it returns current player number. Otherwise, it checks whether row is equal to 2 minus column. Right. So then what does it do? Suppose we have row number as 1, right? And column number is also 1, right? So it will be 1 equal to 2 minus 1, this is 1, right? So it will be what? 2 equal to 2 minus 1, which is equivalent to what? 1. Sorry. Row number is 1, that is this one. Okay. The row number is 1, which is equal to 2 minus the column number given is 1. So this row and this column. So this particular location has been given, suppose, right? So you can see this is equivalent to saying 1 equal to 1. So if that is the case, then it checks game of 0 comma 2 is equal to game of 1 1, right? So it checks for this particular part. 0 comma 2, that is this 0 comma 2 is this location, 1 of 1 comma 1 is this location. So it checks whether these two are same, and then it checks 1 of 1 is same as 2 of 0 or not, right? So see, this is how we check. First we check the whole row, then we check the whole column, then we check diagonally in this way, right? And then we also check diagonally in this way. So all the 4 checks are being done. Okay. All the 4 checks are being done by this 4 if. And if at all anyone is true, then the current player number is returned, right? So it means the current player is the winner. As simple as that. Else what gets returned? -1. Else -1 gets returned. Okay. So once the -1 gets returned, what happens? Let's see that. Once the -1 gets returned over here, we say game status and print the game. Okay. So we print the game cell by cell, right? And then we check whether wins is equal to -1, is not equal to -1, or times is equal to 9, then break the loop. Otherwise, toggle the player number. If currently player number is 0, then make it 1, else let it be 0. Right. If current player number is 0, then make it 1. Otherwise, let it be 0. So if current player is 1, then it will become 0. Okay. Then so see, from here the loop continues again. From here again the loop continues. It checks what is the current player number. If 1 is there, then the sign is X, else the sign is O. Okay. And it says that the current particular player name with this particular sign shall enter a position, and we check the row and column numbers. So row and column numbers are being entered. Then we check whether the row and column number are within the range, that is from 0, 1 and 2 only, right? And if that is the case, then we increment this times. Okay. And we again call this set game, right? So what does this set game do? What would the set game again do? So right now, see, the game is something like this. Game is something like this, where the this is the scenario. Okay. Okay. And currently, O has been entered over here. Right. Now it's the next player's turn to enter X. So what will he do? He will either enter this location or any other location, right? So we take the location. Okay. So we take the location, and what we do is, once we take the location from the user, we send this to set game. So let's suppose that user enters this particular location. So what does the user enter? The user will enter 1 comma 2. Right? Or sorry, user will enter 2 comma 1. So if you see, ideally that would become what? 1 comma 0. Right? Row number 1, column number 0. Right? So first what do we do? First we simply put the value X over here. Right? Then we check whether this whole row is equivalent, whether whole column is equivalent. If row and column numbers are same, then you check this part, but that is not the case over here. If there is another scenario where row is equal to column number 1 minus 1, then you check this part, which is not the scenario right now. Okay, so that's it. It again comes back, right? Again comes back, again user enters some number. Now it's post term, so it will enter, let's say, 2 comma, row number is 1 comma 2. So basically that index becomes 0 comma 1. That is 0th row and first column. Now user enters at this particular location, right? And then we check whether these two are correct. See, these two are correct. But then it takes whether these two are correct or not, that will be wrong. So it will not say that this is an what? This is a winner. Right. Now it's X turn. Let's suppose that X enters 2 comma 2, so which is equivalent to 1 comma 1. That is X enters this particular location. Right. So what happens? It enters X over here and it checks whether these two locations are same. Yes, that is the right. But then it also checks whether these two locations are also same or not. But that will not be correct. So it will not say that this is the winner, right? And then it returns back and it's again O's turn. So what will O do? O will enter the number as 1 comma 3, which is be equivalent to row number 0 comma column number 2. That is this one and this one, right? So here person enters O. As soon as the person enters O, it checks whether these two are correct and then whether these two are correct or not. Okay. So if these three are correct, then it is said that this number is the user number is winner, and the user number that is 0, right, would be sent back over here in wins. Once the user number comes, what happens? Check this out. Once the user number comes, we first print the game status, and we just print the game. Then we check if wins is not equal to -1. Well, now this time the wins is not equal to -1. Okay. So at least this one condition becomes true. So it will break the loop. And once it breaks the loop, right, in the next part, it checks if wins is equal to -1, then it says no one wins. Why it would be -1? Because the times would have been equal to 9, and thus the control would have come out of the loop with the help of this break. Or else the wins would have been equal to some user number. Okay. So once the wins is equal to the user number, we check whether the wins is equal to 1. If no, if yes, then we say no one wins. If no, then we say that that particular player number wins, because that wins represents the index of the player number in the what, in the player, in that particular array. Okay. Now see, what does this print game do? Print game has this for loop which starts from 0, 1, 2. Again another for loop. So outer for loop is for row, inner for loop is for column, and it checks if that particular cell value ij of game is not equivalent to the, if it is not equivalent to null character, then use printf and allocate two locations for it and print that character. Else, if it is, see, if it's a null character, then what you print an empty space. Simply two spaces are printed. And then we check if j is not equivalent to 2, that is the column number is not equivalent to 2, then you print this particular this particular separator, column separator. And once the whole row has been printed, you print a new line and you check if I is also not equivalent to 2, then you print a row separator. Okay, so this prints the column separator, this prints the row separator. Okay, now you might want to understand this with the help of debugging, right? You might want to understand this. Okay, before that, tell me, any doubt in this particular program? How this while loop is running, right? Then how this set game is running, how this print game, what this print game is doing. Yes? Any doubt regarding this? Please do let me know. Print game method. Okay, print game method, Siraj, it's very, very easy. See, if it's a matrix, it's a very simple thing. If it's a matrix, 3 by 3 matrix, okay. So what happens is, you start your index from 0, row number from, sorry, you start from 0 and you go up to 2, right? So this is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. Now see, row number starts from 0, 1 and 2. Column number also starts from 0, 1 and 2. So what do we do? How do we print? We first take this column, this row, right? So row number remains steady. So in the outer for loop, what happens? In the outer for loop, the I remains steady. And then the inner for loop runs. Okay. Here in this for loop, not this for loop, the outer for loop starts, and inside that there is inner for loop which starts from 0 to 2. So once the I is steady, see right now I is over here. Right now the I is over here. I is equal to 0. Then j becomes what? J becomes equal to 0, then j becomes equal to 1 in next iteration, and then j becomes equal to 2. So one by one, all the three locations of this first row are being executed inside inner for loop. And what does it do? It checks whether that is equivalent to null character or not. By default, there will be null character. You would have put null character. And if it is not, then what you have to print? If it is not, it means there is a character put by the user as a part of the game. So you print that particular character. You locate two spaces for it, and inside it you print the character. Okay, that's why you say %2c. And once you print that, if that is not the case, if that is an empty cell, then you print spaces. Print spaces over there. Okay. And if we check j is not equivalent to 2. So see here j is not equivalent to 2. So you print this. If j is not equivalent to 2, then you print this. But now here j is equivalent to 2. So you don't print a separator. The separator does not come over here. Understand? Why this j is not equivalent to 2, that is checked. Right? Similarly, once that whole row has been printed, right? Once this whole row has been printed, the control has to go to this new line, okay, in order to start for this new row, in order to start printing this new row, right? So before printing this new row, there needs to be a row separator, right? So that row separator is being printed over here. We check if I is not equivalent to 2. So I is currently 0. So obviously we can print this separator. Similarly, for I equal to 1 also we can print this separator. But for I equal to 2, we cannot print a new separator. Okay. And that's why we print this row separator. This is column separator, this is row separator, this is column separator. Okay. Now see, once the whole row is printed, right, once the inner for loop ends and all these things end, then again I is incremented to, I was equal to 0, now I gets incremented to 1. So again the inner for loop works from 0, 1, 2, that is this and this, okay, and one by one they are printed. Those characters that had been put inside this game array or game matrix, that would get printed, and if it is null character, then an empty space would get printed, and after each character a separator gets printed. Only for the last character the separator does not get printed, because here we don't need a separator. Okay, we want to display the matrix in this manner. We don't want it to be displayed in this particular manner. We don't want it to be displayed like this. Not like this, but not like this, but like this. Okay, so that's why we are using this, characters to display the column separator, and this characters to display the row separator. So if you, I will again run it and show it to you. Here 0 comes, so you can see over here that this is the column separator. All these are column separators, right? And this is one, and this is another row separator. These two are row separators. So you see, we want to show the tic-tac-toe board like this only. That's why it has been displayed like this. You see that? Because we are not using graphics, we are using text characters. We'll use graphics in next program. Okay. Now X enters something like, okay, so one, see, 1 comma 1 has already been put, right? So it checks whether that is there or not. And if it is not an empty cell, then it checks please enter valid position. So we say 1 comma 2. So here X is put, right? You see? So that check also has been done. How is this check done? This check is done with the help of this particular code. See. Yes. Here over here, mm, here we check. We are checking this thing. Whether the row numbers and column numbers are out of scope or not, and whether that is not equivalent to null character. So by default, when this game array is created, it will have null characters, right? But if at any point of time you are using giving a row and column number that does not have a null character, that means the user is giving a location which has already been entered by the another user. So we don't need to check separately. Okay, we don't need to check separately for a duplicate location. So now we say 2 comma 2 and X says uh, 2 comma B, and similarly ABC says 3 comma 2. Okay, the next says 3 comma 3. Then ABC again says 1, row number 1, column number 3. X says 2 comma 1, and then ABC says 3 comma 1. And that's it. It wins. It wins for this particular combination. Okay. So I uploaded this program onto the repository. Please do check it out. Okay. Please do check it out. Any other doubt? Please do let me know. I'm giving you the repository link. From there, you can get this code and you can try to uh, add some more things to it. Try to add some more logic to it. Okay, for verification, and you might even try to make it into a graphical program. Okay, Rajkumar, that's a very good question. The times variable is basically used to count that, there might be a scenario where basically none of the user is entered the characters in such a way that they are winning. So what happens is at least nine characters are allowed. At the max, nine characters are allowed inside the matrix because it's a 3 by 3 matrix, right? So after that, there is no scope of playing the game. Understand? After that, there is no scope at all for playing the game. So what happens is, uh, if none of the user wins, then at least the game is over. Understand the point? So there are two checks that we do. We check whether the wins has got any particular uh, user number. If the user number is there, then that particular user number wins. As simple as that. And the second check that we do is whether the particular mm whether that particular number of times the user has entered both the users in total has entered the characters, is that equal to 9? If so, then there is no scope of entering more characters. Okay. Any other doubts, please do let me know. Who else is doing the program, please let me know on the chat box. Yes, who else is doing the, and I want to see the your screen also. Okay, please do share that also. Okay guys, so I'll stop the recording now, and if you have any doubts you can ask me, otherwise you can leave. Okay.